Okay, so it is the 7th of January. We are now a week into 2024. And the reason why I bring that up is because um, I've been struggling in the past week to basically change. This is the subject of today's video, struggling to change. So I just wanted to have a bit of a sit down with everyone and just talk about what are the reasons why I'm struggling to change. When I say change, I'm referring to my habits. So I've always been one of those people who's sort of into like habit tracking and stuff like that. But the problem is, and I think a lot of people fall into this trap, is that I'm not. I do the habit tracking, but I don't actually do the habit itself. So when I tend to look back at the month or the year or whatever it is, a certain period of time, and I look at how much of the habits I actually like, how many times a month do I have a cold, or how many days did I have a cold shower, or how many days did I hydrate properly in the morning, or how many days a month did I meditate and stuff like that. Because I'm very sort of, I'm very obsessed with it, where like I will track it, and at the end of the month, I like to do a tally score. Show you. So this is what I'm talking about. So you have like a tally thing for the month of January. So at the end of the month, I do a tally and I count it. And I give myself a percentage. Um, December was really low. I only got 52%. I used to get in the 60s. This year, I want to change things up. I want to get in the 90s. I want to get every month. I want to have like a habit tracking percentage of 95%. I want to track like not what that basically means is that so for example 95% of days um, the habits that I do I want to have 95 percentage of my daily habits. There's also semi like weekly habits and semi-weekly habits simply because you're not really supposed to do everything every day like exfoliating skin and stuff like that. You're not supposed to do that every day. So that's different. But my daily, but basically for my month, if we're talking about in a period of a month, I'm trying to track when I'm tracking because I do it on a monthly basis. Sorry, I track my habits on a monthly basis. I give myself a percentage. And yeah, so I want going forward, I want it to be 95%. So the reason why I use the number 95% is because I believe they use it in research. When they're like looking at us like a population or something, if something's like at least 95%, then that's proof of accuracy or proof of consistency. So that's why I use the number 95%. I do think sometimes I'm getting a bit like this whole thing of like 95%. It is getting a bit of a it. It can be like I do think to myself, am I being a bit rigid about this? But I feel like if I can just work, it's like a goal that you want to work towards. If I could just get 95%, that means I'm working on a consistent basis. Um, However, I'm not. My sleep going off the app. My sleep has not been my sleep has as I said before, like my sleep, but my sleep quality has is about 75%. So that's much lower than I want to achieve. So yeah, I do want to get up to 95%. But as I said before, like the app might not be 100% accurate. So that's what I want to work on. But I still think it's like a sort of it's like a rough estimation of where I am. Um, but I do think like just from the way I feel, from the way I'm functioning, I know I'm definitely not getting enough sleep at the moment. I think it's part of like I have trouble shutting down. I have trouble winding down at the end of the day. Um, my just like I always say to the bed, oh, we need to be in bed by 10 o'clock. We need to be in bed by 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock comes, like I'm still like wide awake, no, not ready to go to bed. My brain really hasn't switched off at all. Like I still have this like sort of like almost like an obligation to stay up. I normally go to bed at around 11. Um, so I normally get about 6 to 7 hours of sleep I know that like people always say like you need to get 7 to 9 hours. I think 8 hours is probably a good benchmark. Um, yeah, that's a good word, benchmark. Um, but my sleep my sleep has always been bad. It's one of the reasons why I have a lot of trouble functioning is because of my sleep. I don't really seem to prioritize my sleep. It's definitely something I want to work on this year. I really want to get it up to 90, like almost every day. I want to try and have a sleep quality of at least 95%. Like I want to have my goal is to have to have a sleep quality of 95% at least 95% of the time, if that makes sense. Or my average, I want my average sleep quality to be 95%. Anyway, I'm going on tantrum. So um, I guess I'm feeling a little bit disappointed in myself because I, I had all these things that I had all like, I know it's only the first week, but it's just kind of like there's been no, like, when you start something and like there's that sort of, the momentum. I think Jerry Steinfeld talks about this idea of momentum. But the problem is because it's been like a week, um, and I just haven't not a single night so far have I gotten like a good night's rest sleep, and just it's just concerning because like what if it just continues like this for the rest of the year, and like beyond that, what if it just like what if I can't, and I was like because like at the beginning of I think this happens to a lot of people like at the end of the year, whatever year that might be, we always say to ourselves, "Oh, we're gonna do this. We're gonna prioritize this, and we're gonna do much. We're gonna put, we're gonna change. We're gonna make changes in our lives, and we're gonna, we're gonna become a better person, and we're gonna, have a better diet and go to the gym more often. And by the way, that's another thing I'm gonna talk about in a minute. We're gonna do so much better. But and for a lot of those people tend to like quit by February. But the thing is, like, I haven't even really, like I said that I wanted to do all these things, but it's been like a week, and I haven't really started. Like I was like, because I think it's unrealistic. With the first day of the year, I think it's unrealistic because you have the whole New Year's Eve thing. It's sort of like unrealistic to expect yourself to like start on day one, but then like I'll just start on day two. But then day two comes and you sort of like it's sort of still like slacking off. Day three comes, still slacking off. Now with me, like almost a week has passed since New Year's, and I'm still slacking off. What I mean by that is that like I'm just not like I had it all like I have maybe just because I have very sort of rigid thinking where everything has to be 0 or 100. Where like I can't like if I sleep in, or that's the other thing. Like pretty much every day so far of this year, and keep in mind it's only like early January, but every day of this year, I have slept in like almost an hour, sometimes even 2 hours later than I wanted to get up. So that's not good. Um, because one of the main objectives was to get up at every morning at 6 o'clock, or almost like on usually on the weekends I'll give myself a bit like a half an hour leeway, but on weekdays I want to be waking up at 6 a.m. I think it was only like on the second day of the year that I actually woke up on time. Every like, but all the other days have been like sleeping in. The reason why I've been sleeping in is because my sleeping ever since Christmas. So Christmas was about 2 weeks ago now. My sleeping schedule has just been out of whack. I mean, it's always sort of out of whack, but my sleeping schedule is just so as I said, like I want to be like going to bed around 10, waking up about 6. So that's about 8 hours. So that's sort of like the recommended. But I just cannot. I cannot do it. I cannot get to bed till like at least like 11ish. Um, even like sometimes like last night I went to bed like midnight. Um, I woke up today 7ish. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, about 7 o'clock I woke up, and I still felt tired. So I sort of like slept in for like another 10 minutes. Anyway, I don't think I need to tell everyone that. Um, but anyway, what I'm trying to say is that my sleeping schedule is out of whack. And the other thing is that because I've been sleeping in, I've also been missing the gym. Only again, like only on the second day of the year. I've only been to the gym once. This is day 7 of the year, 7th of January, and I have only been to the gym once. Um, which is sort of ironic because a lot of like it's sort of we're sort of at the time of the year where like a lot of people sign up for the gym, but then they end up putting in February. Um, I haven't started I have started technically, but like I always like I, I do that thing where I say like this year I'm gonna really step it up with my fitness, but I haven't stepped it up with anything. I haven't stepped up with my fitness. I haven't stepped up with my sleep. My diet's been okay. I don't think my diet's been a bit slightly out. Not I wouldn't say over the place, but my diet's sort of like not great. I'm trying to. And that's another thing I'm trying to improve. But the thing is, like, can I improve, or is this just it? Yeah. So I was sort of feeling. I'm feeling disappointed in myself. I'm feeling like there's some. I need to do something. Like I'm struggling. I think the main thing is to get like just get that extra hour of sleep by like not sleeping in, but getting to bed earlier. And I just sort of wonder, like, is my brain programmed? Because I want to be like that person who wakes up at like 6 o'clock or 5:30. I want to be that person who does that. But it's like my brain. What if my brain just isn't like a what's it called? Is it circadian rhythm? Circadian rhythm? Is that thing? Is that what I'm referring to? I don't know. But what I'm saying is that I seem to have like it's like my brain like the hours that I sleep the like the that sort of going to bed early, waking up early, that sort of 5:30 a.m. person. It's like I want to be that person, but my brain doesn't want to be that person. My brain wants to be the person who like goes to bed at midnight and wakes up at 8 a.m. And that might work for a lot of people like not everyone has to be like the 5:30 a.m. person. Like I mean, it also depends on your work schedule and other things like that. But um, like a lot of people, like some people go to bed at 2 a.m. in the morning and wake up at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. It works for them. But for me, like I want to be the 5:30 a.m. Not maybe not 5:30, like 6 a.m. I want to be the 6 a.m. person, but I can't because just like my brain doesn't want like my brain is like it's like my brain's programmed to not want to do that. If that makes sense, like my brain's programmed to be sort of like slightly later than that. But maybe I can change that. But that's the thing. That's the thing. Like I, it's really struggling to change, and I think sleep is sort of where a lot. Not that it's like not as the only component that helps with change, but I think it's like a really big component of change. Of like, or when I say change, I mean like just of how your body functions and like my idea the idea that I have is with sleep is that if I can improve on my sleep, then I can improve on the other areas of my life. Like my skin will improve, my fitness will improve, my diet will improve. Just like how I function as a human being will improve. And then like a lot of external things would then improve. Um, so so yeah. It's just like there's some little thing that's it's like I've talked about this before where there's like a mental it's like a mental barrier like a um what do you call it? I don't know like yeah basically like there's like a mental barrier that I can't seem to break through. Is that thing I've always struggled with. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about how I just wanted to have a bit of a sit down with you and talk about how like I'm really struggling to make make changes. Like I always said, like I wanted to do all these things. Like you know, the whole this whole thing of like New Year's resolutions. I know New Year's resolutions are stupid. Um, but like I sort of wanted to be like, oh, this year is going to be my year, and this year is the year of change. But you know, I'm like a week into it. I'm like a week. I always, like early, like a few days before, like I said, okay, maybe like you stuffed up on day one, stuffed up on day two, you know, we'll start on day three. Then like day three rolls around, and you know, it just sort of continues. And I'm just concerned that it's just going to be like another year no change on, and like, or even I might actually like decrease, like things will just like I'll become even lower functioning. Um, but yeah, so I'm sort of like disappointed. I mean, I know it's like the first week of the year. Like we're like what like about 2% into the new year, but I think because I don't have that momentum, it's kind of frustrating. So yeah, so some of my thoughts about so I know like my videos are always sort of a bit of a random rant. They're not really structured. Maybe that's another thing I need to change. Um, but yeah, so I just wanted to have a conversation about struggling to change. If you have struggled with sleep or any things I've talked with any of the things I've talked about in this video, please let me know. Um, and like maybe give me maybe talk about some of the things or something that actually helped you break that actually helped you break through that mental barrier. Please let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, that is all I have for now. I will see you in the next video. Bye.